Did you know that ancient Egyptians had complex mathematical systems and medical practices that rival even our modern understanding? Yes, the enigma that is ancient Egypt, a civilization that dates back thousands of years, is renowned for its mystifying sophistication. From the intricate hieroglyphics etched on temple walls to the precise mathematical precision of the pyramids, their knowledge was vast. Their understanding of the human body, diseases, treatments, and surgery was uncannily advanced. So let's unravel the mysteries of this ancient civilization together. The story of ancient Egypt begins around 3100 BC with the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. The Nile River, snaking its way through the desert, served as the lifeblood of this burgeoning civilization. It was along its fertile banks that the seeds of one of humanity's earliest and most enduring civilizations were sown. The tale of unification is one steeped in legend, with the mighty King Menes often credited as the catalyst. This legendary ruler, it said, brought together the two regions, merging the tall white crown of Upper Egypt with the red flat crown of Lower Egypt. The significance of this unification was monumental, marking the dawn of the first dynasty and setting the stage for the Egypt we know today. Under this newly unified kingdom, civilization flourished. The Egyptians, with their innovative minds and resourceful hands, began to shape the world around them. They developed a system of writing known as hieroglyphics, allowing them to record their history and culture for generations to come. They also made significant strides in mathematics, architecture, and the sciences. But perhaps the most recognizable symbol of this era was the construction of the pyramids. These grand structures, towering over the desert landscape, were not merely feats of architectural prowess. They were also deeply spiritual places, designed as final resting places for their pharaohs. The first of these, the Step Pyramid of Djoser, was built around 2700 BC by the brilliant architect Imhotep. It served as a blueprint for the more famous pyramids of Giza that would follow. But these pyramids weren't just tombs. They were statements of power, testaments to the might of the pharaohs and the civilization they ruled. Every stone, every statue, every glyph was a piece of a larger story, a narrative of a culture that refused to be forgotten. With the foundation of a unified kingdom, the era of great pyramid construction began. This was the dawn of civilization as we know it, a time of great progress and grandeur. And as we'll see, it was only the beginning of the remarkable story of ancient Egypt. The Old Kingdom, often called the Age of Pyramids, was a time of remarkable architectural achievement. Imagine a period spanning from the 27th to the 22nd century BCE, where humankind tested the boundaries of their ingenuity and made the impossible possible. Welcome to the Old Kingdom, where the Age of Pyramids began. The most illustrious testament of this era is the Great Pyramid of Giza, an architectural marvel that has stood the test of time. Its construction remains a mystery that continues to baffle historians and engineers alike. Built for Pharaoh Khufu, it took an estimated 20 years to complete and was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. So, what was the purpose of these grand structures? The pyramids were not just tombs for the pharaohs, but they also served as a bridge to the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that the pyramid, with its pointed shape, would assist the pharaoh's soul in ascending to the heavens to join the gods. Now let's delve into the construction process. It was a feat that involved a workforce of thousands, if not tens of thousands. The workers were not slaves, as is often misconceived, but paid laborers. They worked in 3-month shifts, hauling limestone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons, from quarries to the construction site. The construction process was meticulously planned. The Egyptians used a system of ramps and sleds to move and place the blocks. The precision with which these blocks were laid is astonishing, with gaps between the stones often less than a 50th of an inch. The interior of the pyramid was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers designed to protect the pharaoh's body and his wealth from grave robbers. Despite these precautions, most pyramids were plundered in antiquity, leaving behind only the bare structures we see today. The Great Pyramid of Giza, a testament to human ingenuity, remains one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. A symbol of the Old Kingdom's grandeur and the Age of Pyramids, it continues to captivate our imagination and inspire awe. After the age of pyramids came the Middle and New Kingdoms, periods of prosperity, power, and artistic achievement. Transitioning from the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom emerged around 2,400 years before Christ. It was an epoch of political stability and economic strength. This era witnessed the reunification of Egypt, marking an end to a turbulent phase of internal strife and chaos. One notable figure from this period was the pharaoh Senusret III, known for his military campaigns and infrastructure projects. He expanded Egypt's borders and constructed numerous fortresses, thus solidifying Egypt's power. Following the Middle Kingdom, the Second Intermediate Period ensued, marked by political instability and the invasion of the Hyksos. However, Egypt rose from the ashes stronger than ever, ushering in the New Kingdom around 1,550 years before Christ. The New Kingdom was the zenith of Egyptian power and glory. Pharaohs like Hatshepsut, one of the few female rulers, expanded trade and commissioned monumental construction projects. Hatshepsut, known for her peaceful reign, was a prolific builder, leaving behind a legacy of stunning architecture. Then came Ramses II, often called Ramses the Great. He reigned for an impressive 67 years, during which he led several military expeditions, constructed cities, and was an enthusiastic builder of monuments, including the famous Abu Simbel. The New Kingdom also saw the construction of the Valley of the Kings, a grand burial site for pharaohs and nobles. These tombs, filled with treasures and decorated with intricate artwork, provide a glimpse into the beliefs and customs of this ancient civilization. Despite these periods of grandeur and prosperity, the Middle and New Kingdoms also saw the seeds of decline being sown. Internal conflicts, corruption, and a series of weak rulers led to the gradual erosion of Egypt's power. The Middle and New Kingdoms were periods of great prosperity, but they also marked the beginning of the end for ancient Egypt. This marks the close of our exploration of these periods, but the story of ancient Egypt is far from over. In 332 BC, Alexander the Great of Macedonia invaded Egypt, marking the end of the era of the pharaohs. A period of great change and turmoil, the decline of ancient Egypt was as complex as its rise, a blend of internal strife and external pressures that eventually led to the end of one of the world's longest-lasting civilizations. Alexander's invasion was a turning point. The mighty pharaohs, who had ruled for nearly 3,000 years, were replaced by a foreign power. Alexander was welcomed by the Egyptians, who saw him as a liberator from the oppressive rule of the Persian Empire. But this liberation was short-lived, as after Alexander's death, his general Ptolemy seized control, marking the start of the Ptolemaic dynasty. This period, while marked by cultural fusion and significant advancements in science and art, was also riddled with power struggles. The Ptolemies, although they adopted Egyptian customs, were Greek rulers in an Egyptian land. Their rule was marked by heavy taxes and the increasing influence of Rome, with whom they had a complicated relationship. The Ptolemaic dynasty's final ruler, the infamous Cleopatra VII, tried to use her alliances with powerful Roman generals Julius Caesar and Mark Antony to keep Egypt independent. But her efforts were in vain. After her death, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire, and with this, the rich cultural and political history of the ancient Egyptians was absorbed into the vast expanse of Roman rule. So what led to the decline of this magnificent civilization? It wasn't just the invasions. Internal strife, economic issues, and natural disasters all played their part. The great civilization that had constructed the pyramids, developed hieroglyphics, and worshipped a pantheon of gods, slowly crumbled under the weight of its own complexity. With the death of Cleopatra VII in 30 BC, the era of ancient Egypt came to an end. But the legacy of this civilization, its art, its wisdom, and its mysteries, continues to captivate us, reminding us of an era where pharaohs ruled and the Nile was the lifeblood of a civilization. Despite its fall, the legacy of ancient Egypt continues to influence our world today. A civilization that flourished for over 3,000 years, its impact reverberates through the corridors of time. The ancient Egyptians were master builders, innovators in architecture and urban planning. Their grand pyramids, temples, and obelisks still inspire awe in us today, influencing modern architectural designs and concepts. But their influence doesn't stop at architecture. The Egyptians were also pioneers in the field of science. They developed a calendar system that closely mirrors the one we use today. They made significant strides in medicine, many of their treatments and procedures forming the bedrock of modern medical practices. In the realm of art, their distinctive style, marked by symbolic imagery and meticulous detail, has had a lasting impact. The world of fashion, too, continues to draw inspiration from the ancient Egyptians' love for opulent jewelry and intricate designs. And let's not forget their contribution to the written word. The hieroglyphs they created were not just a form of communication, but an art form in itself, a precursor to our modern alphabets. From their concepts of order and justice to their religious beliefs and practices, the cultural imprint of ancient Egypt is deeply woven into the fabric of human history. From the towering pyramids to their intricate hieroglyphs, the ancient Egyptians have left us with a rich and fascinating legacy to explore and appreciate.